we're going to kind of give you some early thoughts on kind of one of the bigger non-conference games. Max, the Florida Gators open against the Arizona Wildcats, as we mentioned.
Wait, can you just say that again? Can you just say that again?
Yeah, Florida opens up against the Arizona Wildcats. Let that settle in for a second.
Open up.
Yeah.
We get to start the season with this beauty right here. Put this on Twitter, expecting to spark a little bit of a conversation around the Gators opening matchup, and it took off, Blake. The people are ready for hoops, it's safe to say. And now I do have also Arizona's full lineup and Florida's full lineup that we can bring up to take a look up and take a look at as well. As Blake is so excited with the matchup, he can't even sit in his chair. That's how excited we are, folks. So, guys, as you look at this initial matchup, now, if you're watching this in advance, as we're talking about this on July 15th, this is going to be in Vegas, okay? This is on November 3rd to not tip off the season 100%, but as far as big-time games are, this is the first big-time tip-off game. It's going to be on a Monday. Right now, Torvik projects an opening line of Florida -1.5. From people I've talked to and just comments from other discussion, I think that's going to be a little bit more like Florida -2, Florida -3, but it's really not going to change too much. If that's what the predictive analytics are telling us, there's really not much that's going to change in 100 days. So it's probably going to be a Florida short favorite. You've got an experienced Florida front court against a Arizona team with a lot of new faces, most notably Blake, Peat. If you have not familiarized yourself with the new freshmen, start watching some of those FIBA U19 highlights. There's a lot of the top guys that played in that. You'll get a updated look at them compared to just their high school highlights that are out there. Peat is going to be a problem. You got Burries and Awaka running the show there. Also ex-SEC guard Jaden Bradley. And then Karchenkov. I don't know too much about him. International, as you can see, but he's supposed to be pretty good as well.
Yeah, to me, one of the easy things that stands out, like you talked about, I mean, you're talking about a team that's probably putting in 3 freshmen off the bat, right? So I think that is clearly something that probably stands out a bit. Just you're going to have some younger guys joining the mix here. And then there's a lot of freshmen on the roster, period, for this team. And so how does that kind of go in game 1 against the defending national champions? I think that's a clear storyline in this game. Skylar asked, where's this game being played? Yeah, in Vegas.
Vegas.
Yeah, in Vegas. So that is, something too where I think, sure, you'll have a lot of Arizona fans there, but Florida's the defending national champs. You're going to have a lot of Big Gator EJ fans there too. Not just Florida fans. There'll be a lot of fans of Big Gator EJ in the audience, yes. I think, in that game. But yeah, I mean, you've got, as we talked about, kind of a core group for Florida that's played together a lot. And yeah, like it's the most exciting storyline to me is it's the Boogie Fland aspect. It's what does he look like game 1? Going up against an experienced guy in Jaden Bradley, of course, who used to be at Alabama. Toby Awaka used to be at Tennessee. I think, yeah, like that's the backcourt has all the attention, right, Max? I mean, there's no other way to put it. We know what to expect from those 3 guys in the front court. It's just you immediately if you want to talk about overreaction, we are all going to overreact to the first 10 minutes of this Florida-Arizona game, whether it goes the best you could ask for or Fland and Lee combined for 5 turnovers in 10 minutes. We are all going to overreact to that no matter what. But I think, we'll kind of see how it goes with that. But that's clearly the biggest storyline. So,
yeah, I saw a lot of people on my tweet that I put out of this game right away just talking about the size difference. If you look at the whole matchup here, you can see Tommy H there at the 3 is just going to be a matchup nightmare, size advantage against almost any team here for Florida. But make no mistake about it. This is an Arizona team that has now a senior, Tobe Awaka, and now while he's only 6'8", he's not really too much of a rim protector, too much of a rim deterrent defensively on the boards. he might be the best rebounder in this matchup. He finished second in the Big 12 in defensive rebounding percentage and offense. He was top 2 in both offensive and defensive rebounding. We know from Tennessee just how much of a beast rebounder he is. The only thing is he's not usually out there for all too long. Well, they've got Motijas Krivas in behind him, who battled with injuries last year. 7'2". You got Peat. You've got these international freshmen in the front court behind him. I don't think the rebounding in the front court advantage is going to be as much as people think just off the bat from looking at the starting lineups. Skill-wise, Florida definitely has the advantage, but the sense of, wow, they're just going to be able to just outmatch him physically. When Awaka's not in there, it's 7'2" Krivas. They've got a few other 6'11" guys, and Peat is a beast there at 6'8". So the kind of the early reactions of, wow, Florida's just going to dominate physically. I think it's going to be a little bit more of, they're going to dominate if they do dominate because of the continuity, because of the championship experience, because of how Ha, Condon, Chinulu, Hinlockton can rotate in with each other. I think that'll be a bigger advantage rather than like the actual physicality.
Shane asked, yeah, they do have Bryce James, of course, the son of LeBron, went to Sierra Canyon, but I mean, he's a 3-star recruit. I don't really see him necessarily playing a big role in this team, just right off the bat at least. So, yeah, but he is there, and I was a big Jaden Bradley guy when he was at Alabama. Yeah. I think you could see, obviously the high potential. He's done some good things at Arizona, the past couple of seasons, and like you mentioned, I think seeing the development of Awaka has been kind of fun to see what he's done there. But clearly an Arizona team, never surprised when a Tommy Lloyd, of course, who came over from Gonzaga, was Mark Few's associate head coach for years. Not surprising that they are loading a team up that's just got a ton of size. Up front, you've got bigger guards. I think that's just kind of the way they would like to play. And so, yeah, I mean, I think, what would you say in terms of like a projection for Arizona right now? Actually, here's a good barometer if we want to use the Vanderbilt test, Max.
Oh,
where is Arizona currently ranked in the DraftKings National Championship odds? I don't think this should surprise some people, but it may. They currently are right behind Arkansas in the National Championship odds. So Kentucky at plus 1,800 for reference, Louisville plus 2,200, Arkansas plus 2,200, and then you have Arizona at plus 2,500 along with Kansas. So Arizona slotted ahead of Tennessee, Auburn, Alabama, and so forth right now. So that's kind of your projections. You're looking at a top 15 type team.
So. Yep. On Torvik's early analytics, they have Florida as 5th and Arizona as 12th. So that kind of averages out with the odds there as well. Yep. Total of 158, Blake. Torvik's got a projection of 80 to 78. I would probably think that that's gonna go a little bit higher, just with how I think Florida's offense is going to be better than it was last year, and I don't think Arizona, besides Krivas, is going to have too much deterrent around the rim. I think that'll be the difference in a matchup like this. Will be, how does Awaka, Peat, and Krivas hold up against the Florida front court? Because I think that's the main advantage here. Like Bradley Sr., Burries, as if I bring up the Arizona depth chart here, Del Orso too has been there for a while, and they got some international guys that are pretty highly recruited. So I think the backcourts both have questions of like, is it going to translate? We got some guys that we really like, some we don't know how they're going to be, but then that front court, man, I trust Florida just a little bit more continuity, a little bit more offensive production, offensive efficiency than Arizona. I think that's the difference.
Yep, I am with you. Okay, so there's some kind of early thoughts on the Gators and the Wildcats. Max, anything else you want to add? And then we're gonna give you our pick for the next week's game of what we're gonna talk about.
Chris with a good comment here saying, not even talking about Urban Brown and Mikic here for Florida. And yeah, like Blake said earlier, we've just they've got really good that we don't even talk about Micah Hinlockton anymore. 2 years ago, led the SEC in offensive rebounding rate. You're right on, Chris. Exactly. Not even mentioning these guys.
Yeah, it should be a good game, but I mean, look, my expectation right now is Florida is simply better, and we'll see. I think Arizona again with the newcomers, that's going to be the biggest story. Is very talented freshmen. You've got kind of the anchors with the two older guys and Bradley and Awaka, and then we mentioned the anchors for this Florida roster. It is that big core four in the front court, and really just seeing how the backcourt plays out. And as I said earlier, an underrated bench that I think we're going to realize maybe the thing that actually gives Florida the best chance to win another national championship is the contributions they're going to get from those guys off the bench. So